Let me ask you, what is the biggest amount of money that you've bet on something, on a sporting event or anything in general?
Probably 4 or 5 grand. Probably. It
What was you betting on?
was fights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to one up you here because
boxing.
Drake.
Boxing. Actually.
Come on, Harrington. Come on, do it. What do you want?
I was gonna say my biggest bet ever is 2,500 when I absolutely didn't have 2,500 to lose.
I was going to say, when have you ever had 2,500 to lose?
Oh, trust me, I didn't. I was in a lot of trouble if I lost this bet, and thank
got
God.
a pretty good bonus this year. You had
Yeah,
it.
All right,
yeah.
Thank God Anthony Smith came through against Shogun Hua.
Oh, did you bet it on Anthony Smith against Shogun?
Oh yeah.
Did you really?
I was wildly confident.
Now, are you just kissing Anthony's ass, or are you telling the truth?
No, I swear to God, Ralph Sutton, the owner of this network, was standing there doing he was doing network issues as I was watching on the Studio B computer, freaking out, just going absolutely crazy. I was like, all right, well, that's my rent for the next 2 months.
So what did you win?
Well, you owe me a drink. By the way, you're welcome.
What did you win?
That 20, I was like, it was 2,500. I think it was minus 140 heading into that fight, so it came out to about $2,000 or something like that.
Nice.
I have a betting on Anthony story that didn't go as well.
Oh, go on.
Oh, here we go.
I think I've told this to you already. When you fought Jon Jones, if you just would have stayed down, we all would be fucking driving gold-plated. If you would, you know what I mean? If you would have just taken the DQ, man, we all would have had fucking jets.
How many times does that get brought up to you about the Jon Jones thing? Because just real quick, if anyone doesn't know, what was it? Did he knee you in the balls? Was it?
No, it was a knee to the head.
Shot?
I was down.
Oh, knee to the head of a down opponent. You were down for a little while, and it was so far on in the fight. If you'd have just stayed down and said you couldn't have continued, he would have been disqualified, and you would have been the light heavyweight champion of the world. Now, I get and I respect 100% why you didn't do that. I totally do, and I'm totally with you. And if I was fine, I would have done the exact same thing. But how many times did people say that to you?
A lot. Actually, I did. I jumped on with Teddy Atlas earlier today, and that was one of the first things they brought up was, tell us about it, And honestly, I wish that.
Anthony, told me the fucking guy knees you in the head. I can't do a fucking Teddy Atlas. I'll try.
I love Teddy.
I fucking love the guy as well. But it's your story.
That's a pretty good Teddy Atlas.
I've never tried to do a Teddy Atlas before, but it did the fucking knee in the head. It's not bad actually. I've never fucking tried it. I didn't know this was. It's just the case because he's kind of broken up, isn't it? The way that he talks.
Yeah. He's a little bit broken. Yeah. It's just there was never a choice. And I think that's what people think. They're like, all right, I made this conscious decision to not do that. At the time, I had no idea that I would have been the champion. I know that my coaches didn't want me to keep going because they were like, I could just tell.
Oh, you're compromised.
Yeah, they could tell I was hurt. And they just kept saying, I remember looking at Mark, and I remember it being like real blurry for a second, and I looked at Mark, and he was like, what did he say? He just said, "Are you actually okay?" And I just went, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're lying." And I went, "Yeah." That was it. So then,
can you say anything other than yeah?
Yeah. So he just said, "Are you hurt?" Or he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah." "You lying?" I said, "Yeah." And then he said, "If you're not okay, don't keep going." And I just said, "I'm fine." But it was never like, "Oh my God, I could be the champion." It was what I didn't want to do and what I've never been able to do in my entire career. I wasn't willing to let Jon Jones know he hurt me. I didn't. I would never have given him that in the moment. Never.
See, that's interesting. So and I totally get it because you're not weighing up those kind of ramifications. Right. You're just like, am I okay? Am I not okay? You got the referee in there, you got a doctor in there, you got the whole world watching. You're just like, you are figuring out. Hold on, I think I'm okay. I'm good to fight. That's because by definition we're not pussies. Most of us, maybe one or two are, but generally we're not.
And I couldn't say it. I can't say it out loud. Like I just can't say. Like
you just couldn't allow yourself to say, "Yeah, I'm not good," even though it was an illegal blow.
Yeah, like I could be holding on to my head after it's detached, and I'll tell you, like, "No, I'm good. It's fine." Like I could never say. I just can't. My uncle, My uncle Todd has been around my whole life. Me and his son Chris, same age, wrestled together, played football together our entire lives, and he's been at every goddamn sporting event. And what he's always said, no matter what, you get hit hard on the football field, like you take a hard, you take a hard fall wrestling, you get slammed on your head, whatever. Get the fuck up, is what he's always said. He'll look you right in your eyes and scream at you from the stands. Get the fuck up.
I like this
even
guy.
if you're hurt, don't look hurt. Puff your chest out, put your chin up in the air. You're fine. And that's always kind of stuck with me. Like, as soon as he hit me with the knee, I kind of had to shake it off for a second, but I was like, I got to get to my feet. Like, I'm not letting Jon Jones for 1 second in this fight think that he's got something on me. And as soon as we came together again, I spent the rest of the fight saying, you're a pussy. I thought you hit harder than this. I thought you were better than this. Like, I'll never give it to you. I'll never give it.
Well,
and if he knows now, it doesn't count because that night he didn't know it. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, when you get a chance to fight him again, he'll know that. He'll know that he didn't hurt you, but that's probably not going to happen because he's going to be at heavyweight. The reason I brought up the betting thing was because, as you probably heard about it Saturday night, Drake put on $275,000 on Jorge Masvidal, which of course came in and he lost. So that was a big waste there. I mean, of course, listen, Drake's loaded. Just look up his net worth, Harrington O'Brien, please. Because I said on the broadcast, Joe Rogan was like, he put 275. I was like, well, he's going to be sweating a little bit now because the fight wasn't going well. And Joe's like, yeah, he can afford it. I'm like, yeah, he can. Of course he can. He's probably worth $100 million. But still, I don't think anybody likes to lose $275,000. It's still a lot of money, unless you are out of your mind. Nobody likes to lose $275,000.
So, according to Celebrity Net Worth, which is not the most accurate site of all time, it says his salary is $70 million a year, and his net worth is about $200 million. So, somebody has a problem saving. Number one, and
well, how long has he had that quote unquote job? Do you know what I mean? But he's not bothered about 275 grand. But it stings, of course. That's why
it's gotta hurt a little bit.
That's why he bet it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to win. Because if you don't give a fuck about it, it's like, why are you going to bother betting? You know what I mean? If he's going to win 200 grand off that, well, he was a 3-1 underdog. So
it was actually, this was what was wild about the bet. He took a 10-1 underdog line, saying that Jorge Masvidal would win the fight by decision. So it wasn't like a knockout wouldn't have been good for Drake. He needed it to go all 5 for Jorge to get his hand raised, which is, I don't see how anyone could predict that.
No, 2.75 million is what he would have got, though. I mean, I don't care who you are with that one, but that's going to get the juices flowing.
Yeah. I'm sure like about that. 200 and whatever $1,000 is probably like our $5,000 or $6,000. I mean, I'll still have a house afterwards, but it's going to suck and I'll be real pissed about it.
Yeah. I mean, what would that? Yeah, it's like, it's still equivalent to us putting down a decent bet. You know what I mean?
Not that decent bet, but it hurts.
It's $275,000. It's still a lot of money. It's a lot of money.